that will be actually my next question. What is the benefit for the client itself when you're working with Dave Elman methods, and what is the benefit for the hypnotherapist when he studies the Dave Elman techniques?
I have seen and heard of too many instances where a client is in the chair and somebody is reading a script to them. And that script might have things that have nothing to do with that client. It doesn't match, it's incongruent, and they don't connect. It breaks rapport. In the Dave Elman techniques, we are totally client-centered. That means that there is no script, but we have ideas, and we have techniques, and we have education, and as we're working with that client, it's just coming out to the client, with the client of their needs at that time. We're watching their reactions, and that's where we keep going with it.
I would totally agree. And when you first hear that, you say, how is that possible? But the stress we put on it is understanding what it is you can and cannot do, and understanding how, in watching the client, you can see if something is working. Mm-hmm. The result is, the first couple of times you do it, it's, what am I doing? But very quickly, you develop this ability to think on your feet. Let's put it this way. In a normal conversation, in a party with your relatives, a dinner party, the office Christmas party, whatever, you think on your feet. You respond to somebody else's comments. You don't just parrot something, you think. Well, why should a hypnotic session with a client be any different from you having a conversation with friends, relations, colleagues? Mm-hmm. It's the same thing of, I'm listening to the other person, and based upon hearing them, I know what I should be able to contribute to the conversation.
Dave Elman and the doctors that he worked with back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s really excelled at working with their patients, and they were very client-centered, as we are. They did not use scripts. That's not to say that a beginning hypnotist shouldn't use some scripts to understand how to work with specific issues. If you're going to be working with an issue that you've never worked with before, that scripts are wonderful resources just to get in a reference of where you might want to go with it, or things that, and develop some pattern. So that's good to have, but that's not to be buried in that script and not seeing your client or making it specific to that client. I think for the therapist, which was the other part of your question, is that it's very concise. Yeah. It's very, you can get, as far as using the Dave Elman induction, you're not wasting 30 minutes or so getting somebody into trance. You know where they're at in trance. Mm-hmm. And with the convincers and deepeners, you are moving them through the process, so you have more time for the therapy part itself, working with the presenting problems, than just getting people in and out of trance and wondering if they're there.